Good afternoon and welcome to African News on Voice of the People TV. I am Fina Okechukwu. Niger is set to receive new loans from the International Monetary Fund, IMF, to support economic reforms and address balance of payment issues. On Wednesday, the IMF's Executive Board completed the fourth and fifth reviews of Niger's program under the Extended Credit Facility, ECF, and the first review under the Resilience and Sustainability Facility, RSF. This approval enables an immediate disbursement of approximately $26 million under the ECF and $45 million under the RSF, bringing total disbursement to about $210 million and $45 million, respectively. The ECF, approved in December 2021 and complemented by the RSF in July 2023, has been extended until December 2025 to allow more time for implementing key reforms. While program implementations was on track as of June 2023, the recent political crisis has caused disruption, including the accumulation of debt service arrears. The Burkina Faso government has expressed regret over the recent deportation of 164 citizens from Ivory Coast. This group, seeking refuge from ongoing instability in Burkina Faso, joins approximately 60,000 Burkina Faso who have fled to Ivory Coast since 2021. Many of these refugees are hosted by local families, while others reside in government reception centers. The deportations occurred 3 days after 173 Burkina Faso, mostly women and children, arrived in Ouagadougou, despite some reporting their livestock to local authorities. 164 were sent back without explanation, but local sources attribute the deportation to registration issues and security concerns. The Ivorian government has called the action an isolated measure and reaffirmed its commitment to aiding asylum seekers in their country. Dong Hun Lee, Control Director of COISA Ghana, highlighted the importance of education and professional development in driving sustainable change. Speaking at a seminar hosted by the Korean Alumni Association of Ghana, KAAG, and KOICA, Lee emphasized that education enables the identification of new challenges and the exploration of innovative solutions. The seminar themed the impact of capacity improvement and enhancement for tomorrow, CIAT, fellowship programs on public service delivery and governance in Ghana, gathered alumni, public officials, and sector representatives. Head of Local Government Services, Dr. Nana Ato noted that international education introduces innovative governance models, but since 1991, KOICA has supported Ghana in public health, agriculture and rural development, education and governance, training over 1,500 Ghanaian public officials through its CIAT fellowship program. The Ghana Tourism Authority held a MICE Tourism Conference to regulate tourism businesses and boost local revenue. The event focused on encouraging the private sector to develop meetings, incentives, conferences, and exhibitions, MICE, tourism products and services. Chief Executive Officer of the Ghana Tourism Development Company in Kwado Odame Antwi highlighted the importance of attracting high-spending tourists year-round for business purposes. He noted the need to address infrastructure gaps to support and grow the business tourism sector in Ghana. Meanwhile, the Greater Accra Regional Minister Daniel Titus Glover has issued a stern warning to residents in Dodowa and Akwapem areas against the unauthorized clearing and sale of forest lands. These cautions follows reports from the Greater Accra Regional House of Chiefs about illegal activities by some residents. Speaking at the Greater Accra Regional Coordinating Council meeting, Glover emphasized that REG SEC, in partnership with the Forestry Commission, will launch a tree planting initiative to restore the Dodoa and Katamanso forests. He warned those encroaching on forest lands to vacate immediately as these areas will be declared security zones. The minister also urged MMDCEs to protect the region's Ramsar site and highlighted the importance of adhering to budget constraint and procurement rules to minimize audit issues. You're watching the news on African VOP TV. More stories after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back. It's still the African News and Voice of the People television. Now I'm talking South African politics. South Africa President Cyril Ramaphosa inaugurated a new parliament on Thursday following a landmark election that resulted in a multi-party coalition government. Speaking at Cape Town City Hall, Ramaphosa addressed lawmakers from the newly formed coalition, which comprises at least 10 political parties, marking the start of South Africa's 7th administration. Ramaphosa emphasized the coalition's unity in addressing South Africa's critical issues: unemployment, poverty and inequality, and the erosion of state institutions due to corruption. Despite political differences, he called for collective action to rejuvenate the economy, reduce joblessness, and eliminate corruption. The new coalition, which includes former ANC rival Democratic Alliance, represents a significant political shift after the ANC's historic loss in the May 2024 election. Moving on to Kenya, where a Kenyan court has suspended the police ban on protests in the capital, Nairobi. The Milimani Law Court ruled the suspension will remain in place pending the outcome of a petition filed by a Kenyan NGO challenging the police directive. The acting police inspector general had indefinitely banned protests in Nairobi's central district, citing the absence of leadership to ensure peaceful demonstration. The suspension came ahead of a planned march to the president's office. But on Thursday, heavy police presence was noted around the CBD, with major roads leading to the president's office cordoned off. Nairobi has been the epicenter of youth-led protests, which have spread nationwide. Police have faced accusations of using deadly force against protesters, prompting the resignation of former Inspector General Japhet Komer. The government spokesperson Isaac Maura urged protesters to embrace patriotism, noting the economy has suffered losses of $45 million due to the ongoing month-long protests in the nation. Still in Kenya, where the authorities arrested 2 more individuals in connection with the Mukuru case, where a suspected serial killer has confessed to murdering 42 women. This development follows the arrest of the primary suspect, Collins Jumaishi Kalusha, earlier this week. On Tuesday, Amos Momanyi Mogushu was apprehended outside a bar in Nairobi, found with the mobile phone of one of the victims. Moses Ogembo, who sold the phone to Mogushu, was also detained with 154 mobile phones discovered in his residence. The Directorate of Criminal Investigations, DCI, found additional evidence in Kalusha's apartment, including a blood-stained pillowcase and various tools. Kalusha has retracted his confession, citing torture, but the court extended his detention by 28 days. Government spokesperson Isaac Maura clarified that the bodies found in a quarry are linked to femicides, not political killings. 7 people perished in a fatal accident involving a police car along the Kizarafumbi Kabele Road in Hoima district of Uganda on Thursday. The accident occurred at around 3:20 p.m. and it involved a Kikube, the police car at Kitegwa B village in Kabele Parish. Kabele is a sub-county in Homia district of Uganda. However, at least 4 people and police officers and 3 civilians were traveling in the police car died on the spot. 3 other people who were traveling in the same car sustained severe injuries and have been rushed to Homia Regional Referral Hospital. Meanwhile, the identities of the officers and other civilians who perished in the car accident are yet to be made available to press. Preliminary reports indicate that the police car was from Kikube, the central police station, heading to Kiarushesha in Kayangwali sub-county before the accident. Egypt's Minister of Telecommunication and Information Technology, Amra Talat, assured on Friday that the country's key sector remains unaffected by the recent global cyber outage that disrupted aviation, internet services, and banking. Talat confirmed regular air traffic in Egypt after consulting with the Minister of Civil Aviation. Prime Minister Mustafa Madjabali is actively overseeing the situation, and reports indicate that Egypt's civil aviation system is secured despite the widespread impact. Still in Egypt, natural gas production has plummeted to its lowest level in over 6 years, just as summer heat drives up demand. Figures from the Joint Organization Data Initiatives reveal that May's output was near the weakest since February 2018. This sharp decline threatens Egypt's ability to sustain its recent gas export successes and is pushing the country towards greater reliance on imported liquefied natural gas, LNG. Once a key gas supplier to Europe, Egypt now struggles to meet its domestic needs, facing power shortages and blackouts, with daily power consumption exceeding 37 gigawatts. But the government's plan to address the deficit through renewable energy projects and increased LNG imports, having already allocated $1.18 billion for additional energy. As the country aims to increase renewable energy to 58% of its grid by 2040, it faces the challenge of updating infrastructure and managing production issues, including a significant drop in output from its Zohr gas field. It's still the African News and Voice of the People TV. More stories in business and sports after the break. Stay tuned.
Health is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being of an individual. It's the fundamental right of everyone to enjoy the highest attainable standard of health, without distinction of race, religion, or political belief. On VOP TV, we bring you Health Check, a show that x-rays different health issues and provides solutions with the help of experts in the medical field. Join us every Tuesday from 2:30 p.m. to 3 p.m. on Health Check. Health Check on VOP TV. Your health, our priority.
Welcome back. It's still the African News and Voice of the People TV. Moving on to business. South Africa's central bank decided to keep the main interest rate at 8.25% after a closely watched meeting. This decision comes as the South African Reserve Bank aims to manage inflation within the 3% to 6% target range. Governor Lesja Kayango noted that inflation expectations have not yet aligned with the desired 4.5% midpoint. The decision was split within the Monetary Policy Committee, with 4 members supporting the status quo and 2 advocating for a 25 base point rate in court. Economists had largely anticipated no change in the repo rate, reflecting the tight monetary policy in place to navigate the country's economic challenges. The African Development Bank has approved a $1 billion loan to South Africa's state-owned railway and ports company, Transnet. Guaranteed by the South African government, this 25-year loan will fund the first phase of Transnet's $8.1 billion investment plan to upgrade the country's rail and port infrastructure. South Africa's deteriorating logistics network has been a significant barrier to foreign investment and export efficiency. Transnet, among several state-owned companies scrutinized for corruption and mismanagement, sees this loan as a critical step towards stabilizing and enhancing the rail network. But according to the Transnet Group Chief Executive, Michelle Phillips, this financial boost comes as President Cyril Ramaphosa's government seeks to revive the stagnant economy and reduce high unemployment rates, following a major electoral shift that forced the African National Congress, ANC, into a coalition government. Meanwhile, Italian onshore engineering firm CIAPM has secured a contract to provide supervision and subsea intervention services for the Green Stream pipeline connecting the Melita terminal in Libya to Gela in Italy. This new agreement with Green Stream extends their partnership, which began in 2008. Managed by CIAPM's Sunsub division, the contract includes integrated survey data management, provision of critical spares, and specialized engineering services. The repair interventions will use SIRCOs, the technology, a remotely operated system capable of working at depths of up to 2,200 meters. This contract enhanced the long-standing cooperation between CIAPM and Green Stream, which dates back to the pipeline's installation in the year 2002. Now moving on to sports. The kickoff of the 2024 Olympics, taking place in the charmed city of Paris, is just around the corner. The event, hosted every 4 years, with future competitors from across the world wearing their special design kits for their respective countries, a major and usually highly anticipated part of the global sports event. For this year, Africa's team from Sierra Leone to South Africa have already unveiled their Olympic kits. Sports brands such as Adidas, Nike, Mr. Prince Sports, and others have partnered with various Olympic teams from the continent to create kits for the sports they qualified to participate in. And while those heavyweights are already a staple in the World African Olympic kits, this year also features exciting collaborations with Black-owned and relatively smaller brands like Rabroom, Actively Black, and IGC Fashions, who are tapping into the excitement and bringing strong cultural nuisance into the designs they have created for the African team. At the African Judo Championships in Cairo, digital projections, Titan laser projectors played a pivotal role in the event's grand opening, held from April 25th to 28th at Cairo Stadium's indoor complex. The ceremony featured a vibrant mix of dance performances and projection mapping. Utilizing 8 Titan 37000W projector highlights, the group created a stunning visual display on a 40 by 20 meter area, projecting dynamic colors, shapes, and African logos on the stadium floor. The projection, managed with a Dataton watch-out media server, was enhanced by precise lighting effects and strategically placed projectors, ensuring an immersive experience for attendees. And that is it on African News on VOP TV. Don't forget to subscribe to our channels. On YouTube, we are at Voice of the People TV, and on other social media platforms, we are at VOP TV Live. Join the subsequent news bulletins at 4 and 9 p.m. respectively. I am Fina Okechukwu. Good afternoon.